Ladies and gentlemen, we should be live on YouTube. So if you guys don't mind, smash some comments into the comment section. Let us know if you can hear us. But as you know, you guys saw the thumbnail. Kirk from Speakeasy is on. He is actually a developer in real life, and he's developed a kind of a software as a service that is extremely exciting. He is utilizing his influence out here in the crypto and DeFi world to help fund that project. Super exciting. He told me about it a few weeks ago. Of course, I was super on board, and so I wanted to bring it out to you guys. So he's come on today specifically to talk about that, kind of how you can get in, invest, how the project works. It's super interesting. It's something that I would use from day to day, just in some of the marketing and other stuff I do. You'll be really familiar with some of the tools that are inside of it, so it shouldn't be anything too crazy, anything too far-fetched for you to understand is why this service would be valuable and why you'd want to maybe get in to a business like this. So Kirk's on. Welcome, Kirk.
Hey, Scott. How you doing?
I'm fantastic.
Good.
Not a bad day so far.
Good. How's your head?
Oh man, I got a lump, but it's not too bad. So these things they're pretty heavy, and I backed it up and I bumped it, but I didn't think anything because it fell real slow and just cracked me over the head. I mean, I stood here for a minute, like I was like, I got to make sure I don't fall asleep because I might have a concussion. There was a few minutes there where I was like kind of dazing out or whatever. So always nice to record a video directly after some head trauma. But,
yeah, I was watching.
Yeah,
your
it's
video.
not too bad. I iced it, but I got a pretty big lump. But yeah, I don't know why my friends make fun of me, say I'm just like too big and muscular, but I broke the arm off my old chair. And it was a little bit shorter, so I would have no problem rolling back and forth. It would never hit these. But as soon as I got this chair, it's a little bit taller, and it bumps them every time I go back. Yeah. So now I'll know it's a danger zone.
Okay, I'm glad you're still with us.
Yeah, for sure. Well, your project seems super cool. Obviously, we talked in length about it. I think getting this out to folks at a time like this, I feel like you're kind of early to market in that what you're going to present is all kind of bottled up in one piece. So you don't have to jump around to 5 different tabs, which is my issue when I'm doing some of my content creation or whatever. I'm really jumping around to different types of, different types of apps or whatever, different types of software as a service to be able to create certain things and then throw it all together. Yours kind of streamlines that process. And so I definitely want to hear about it. I know the folks that have joined today also want to.
Yeah, I'm excited to present it. And, it's an interesting thing. It's not only pretty early to market in terms of what the software itself does, but, also this whole sort of, your involvement with Foodtopian and this, I think that we're seeing, some people in the space that are looking for ways to, take DeFi, CeFi, whatever you want to call it, into the real world a little bit more. And even though that has some potential added risk because you're not dealing with immutable contracts, you're not, like in our case, we don't have a smart contract at all. That, if you can find projects and teams that you can trust, you've got a way to generate revenues and bring them back into the DeFi space, which is what I'm interested in trying to do, without it being the typical Ponzi-nomics type of, contract setup. So not that there's anything wrong with those contracts, as long as you know what you're getting into, but, this type of thing, I think we'll see more of it, and it'll be more and more sustainable for longer terms. Now, you're not going to get the crazy returns, but I think it's going to be more sustainable.
It's just a different play. And when we talk about DeFi or even crypto in general, the umbrella is so large. And so most of us in the DeFi space, we think ROI dApps or miners or whatever it is. And that's kind of what we're fixated on. With Foodtopian, with this and some of the other projects out there, they go, okay, there's some really nice attributes to this. There's a good community out here, and there's a bunch of people that want to invest in stuff that they think has growth potential, but they don't know how to access those investment opportunities because they're not available for the average person. So when you can take, hey, I've got a cool business idea here, or a really fully functioning system like you have already. I've got a cool business here. I need funding, which will get me from here to there. And in return, I'll pay a multiple on the investment, right? So it's not anything that's that's new. It's just shifting from the traditional markets where there's a lot of people who don't get access to those opportunities over to the DeFi space where the everyday person can go, okay, I like this opportunity. I'm willing to, be a small time angel investor to get this thing off the ground, or in your case, to get it from, where you're already kind of late stage development and getting it out to the public.
Right. I mean, that's super well said. And I think that, a lot of us in the space have been frustrated, particularly lately. I always catch your videos, and I know before you left for Hawaii, you were sort of in a negative space about it, and it's hard not to be. There was that wave of, trading dApps that came into play. And, I think we all got wrecked pretty good. I know that I did personally, as well as through Speakeasy, and and that it does have a real life component to it, so to speak, because people are supposed to be out trading. Whether they're actually doing that or not, is another question.
Yeah.
But, it just seems that that type of thing is very difficult to pull off for a number of reasons. But when you get into a more traditional real life business, whether it be software as a service or like what you guys are trying to do at Foodtopian, again, it isn't the crazy returns, but it is something that's much more measurable. And you have a much better handle on what's actually going on. Like in the case of this, you can go to the website and see the service, and you can sign up for it and pay for it even. There's no like, are these trades going on? Can we see proof? The proof is right there. So anyway, I think it's an interesting approach, and I'm excited to try it as a means of going forward. I have been working on this project for a while, and only a couple months ago decided to try to include DeFi in it. I wasn't going to do that initially. But I felt like, this was a really good way to try to bring something new into the space in terms of that, and see how it goes. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do.
It's nice. And as a business owner for yourself, it's really a good idea, because ultimately when you ask for funding early on in the business process, whether you're at the idea stage or whether you've got kind of a fully functioning product, but you need to get it over that edge. A lot of times when you bring investors in, they're sharks. And so they want a big chunk of it,
right,
in perpetuity. And it's just really hard as a business owner. So a lot of times businesses get stalled out because they can't get that point. They want to give up a crazy amount of equity and, swing the powers. They just really need to take on capital for a little while and then be able to pay that back. So in this instance, you're able to take on some capital, pay everyone back, but in the end, your business is still whole. It's not indefinite ownership of the business. It's just a nice business opportunity where you can earn multiples on whatever your investment is. So I feel like it's a good avenue for folks that are in your position, to where, and the nice thing is for you don't need to take on crazy amounts of capital. You don't need $1 million to,
right,
to get this thing off the ground. Like a lot of these contracts claim they do. They want to take on more money and more money, get to those 7 figures. You don't need to get anything close to that to get you where you want to go. So I think it's an ideal avenue.
Cool. Well, let me go through. I have a pitch deck. I don't know if it's up, but
let me throw it up on screen. Make sure everyone can see it.
Okay, great. Yeah, there it is.
Perfect.
So I will just walk through. There's only half a dozen slides or so. Feel free to jump in while I'm going through it if you have particular questions, and then we'll do a little bit of a demo of the product, and that'll be it.
Awesome.
So My Eileen, what is My Eileen? Well, My Eileen is a SaaS-based software service, as we've been talking about, and it's particularly designed to provide AI productivity tools in a single application primarily for small business, digital professionals, the digital nomad types, and really for people who may not be in the AI productivity space yet. Everybody is, it's the big buzzword, and everybody knows that AI is here and may know something about it, but most people, don't have any real hands-on experience with it yet. Now, a lot of people in our world that we travel in, and in DeFi, people are a little more sophisticated about using computers. So the chances are that most people listening to this will have at least experimented around with AI. And so that's not necessarily the target market here. The target market here is much broader. Again, to me, it's akin to when people moved from typewriters into PCs and then learning how to use Word and Excel. It's a tool set that you're going to need to know, regardless of where you are. If you're an executive or a office secretary, you're going to need to at least know how to function in the AI space and develop content for your everyday job. And so that's really what we're shooting for here, is to be one of the first to market with something that provides an easy to use and understand tool, not necessarily for the movers and shakers in AI, but for the everyday folk. So that's really the goal. So now we've added DeFi to this component, and basically, like I had said a minute ago, at first when I was developed, I should back up. This is my business in real life. I am a software developer, and I am a partner in a mid-sized company that I developed a piece of SaaS-based software in the healthcare space, which they purchased from me and brought me along as a partner into that. And then I also have always done freelance development work for companies, and also on spec that I've sold to other companies or ran myself. So this is really in my personal wheelhouse in terms of what I do for a living. And so I knew that I wanted to do a project that had something to do with AI. And so I sort of took the last several months to figure out this My Eileen thing. And then, of course, because of my involvement in the DeFi space, I was like, how can I merge these two things? I don't want. This is a straight ahead business. It's fiat currency to pay for subscriptions. We don't take crypto, at least not yet. So that wasn't a way to get into it. So I decided to use the NFT, particularly because with Speakeasy, I have some experience in doing that. And so it also made it easy and clean in terms of, like I said, there's no smart contracts involved here. There's just one contract where you can go and buy the NFT, but that's it. So it made that part of it pretty clean and easy. So basically what I've set up is a system where if you are interested in the My Eileen project and you feel like it has some legs, the way you get involved in this case is through buying and holding an NFT. And then this NFT will pay out monthly rewards, and then also pay out a full 4x on the NFT over time. That's the goal, is to pay out that much. And we're going to kind of do it in an interesting way to bring DeFi again even in more to the situation. And also, it's really important for all of the, we all have to say this, that this is not financial advice. This is not a call to invest. You are not investing in the company. If you get involved in this, you're simply purchasing a collector NFT that is going to have a reward mechanic to it. So it's important to understand what you are and aren't doing here, particularly if you're in the United States. So what we're doing is to keep that all sort of tight and the way it should be is basically, by buying the NFT, you're going to be partnering with My Eileen, who is going to be taking revenues that it earns from subscriptions and putting it into a pool on the DeFi side. And then we're going to work to generate revenues in that pool through some very conservative DeFi investments that won't provide us with any risk. I saw that you got into Spark Swap, so that's great. So things like that, Farms, Elephant, Fusion, when it comes out, things that we know we can really trust. And we're not going to kill it in terms of necessarily the returns, but we're going to earn on it. And My Eileen will be the number one investor in this pool and will pay out these rewards to NFT holders before it takes anything back out from this pool. So basically, this is the structure in DeFi that we're setting up in order to have a way to keep it in the space and not be worrying about, paying people out in fiat or anything along those lines. So we're going to do it through this investment pool.
and any type of regulatory issues. I think that was
Correct.
well articulated. You got to be careful with with your wording and exactly how you're moving the funds around. Obviously, we've seen that across the board. We've got that. We keep it tight over on Foodtopian, same type of
Right.
thing.
Yeah,
Yep.
you're kind of going through a corn maze, trying to make sure that you can offer something without stepping on government toes or anything along those
Definitely.
lines.
Yep.
So there are 4 NFTs available. They're currently available. The public sale is on now, has been on, and is only available through Friday. So there's only a couple more days left. Basically, the minimum to get in would be 250 USDT. The max is 5,000 USDT because you can have up to 2 of these in your wallet. So if you got 2 of the 2,500s, that would be the max there. Basically, what we're targeting is an 8% monthly reward, which will be paid out on the 1st of every month. That's a little over 0.25% a day if you're wanting to do the math. But that is basically just to keep people earning back on their ROI. The real reason to get into this is for what the 4x return. So what we're calling a 4x max out buyout, and what that means is that is the potential value of the NFT you hold. So if you purchased a Series C at 1,000, the potential value of that NFT is $4,000. If you are paid out that amount of money, either through monthly rewards or lump sums out of the pool that we're all in together, then once you hit that 4,000, then the NFT expires and you have made your 4x on it. So basically, but in the meantime, while we're doing this, we still want to be returning a reasonable amount every month against ROI. So basically, that's the setup in terms of how the NFTs work. It's pretty straightforward. Buy it, hold it, then you'll receive your airdrop rewards every month. And of course, we'll be keeping people, up to date in our Telegram about contracts that we're signing and that kind of thing. And that might be an opportunity. I don't remember what my next slide is. Oh yeah, for the demo. But that might be an opportunity to explain too quickly that how we're going to approach this. We are not going to necessarily try that hard to get the onesie twosie people. You can come up to the website and subscribe, put your credit card in. If you can do a free trial, and then if you want to pay for the service, you can do that. That's not our main goal. What our main goal is going to be, at least initially, to get the most subscriptions we can is, and we're already talking with organizations, is selling this in at the enterprise level to small businesses. So they would come in and say, yeah, this looks like a great product. I've got 6 people in my office that I think could use this. What would it be for 6 seats of this? And so that way we're selling multiple seats at one time. And that also ties into my personal experience, because that's what I do for a living, and work with companies all the time that use my business SaaS software that I develop. So this will be a lot easier of an approach, a lot less expensive than having to do retail marketing to try to get one subscription at a time. So that's going to be our first go around. So we'll be announcing in our Telegram as we get various contracts with companies, and so you'll be able to see how we're doing. And then once we get the pool set up, there'll be some reporting available on that as well. So that's pretty much just the high level overview, even though it's pretty straightforward, in terms of the financial part of this for people who would be interested in getting an NFT.
For sure. So just for anybody who joined late, if I could just recap everything. Kirk's business, software as a service, he's about to go into that and explain exactly how it works. But it's an AI tool, integrates a lot of different things, and it's very cool. The NFT talk is about really being able to invest invest in the business in a DeFi way, to be able to get an NFT and be able to essentially stake it and then earn your percentage at 8% a month. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, at 8% a month. So solid investment opportunity, and then the ability to 4x that, later. Obviously, if there's a buyout of the business, or there's a bunch of things that can happen if the business gets acquired, or you need to be bought out for whatever reason. So it's a good investment opportunity. So that's the link to actually get in and get the NFTs. If you go to that link, it's going to give you a few different options. You can get in for anywhere from the $250 USDT tier all the way up to the $2,500 tier, and I think you can buy 2 of those. So $5,000 is your total max investment if that's something that you wanted to do, and that's just the basics about that. Now I think he's going to go into the specifics about how the software as a service works and how cool it is and why you'd want to be involved with it in the first place.
Scott, is the stage updating with the screens that I'm changing? Because
It is not. It is not. I'm still seeing that main My Eileen screen.
Yeah, I just noticed that. I've been going through a bunch of slides, and I don't think anybody's seeing them.
I figured I was about to pull up my thing. I'm like, this would
should I try to reconnect to it, or?
Yeah, let me kick you out and let's try it again.
Okay, hold on.
Let's try it again. See if we can see the screen.
Stop screen.
Yeah, always helpful to have a visual aid.
Yeah.
What is he talking
about? Share screen. Oh, I see. It's that's my mistake. I should have done it this way. I think that's going to be better.
There we go. Let's try this. All right, there we go.
There we go. There it is.
Here's your slides. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, sorry guys. Basically, this was just showing the 4 NFTs and then talking about the investment pool that we just talked about. So there's the slide that goes with that. And then here are the 4 NFTs that are available. The 8% target with the 4x max out buyout. And that kind of brings us to where we were. So glad I looked there, because all of a sudden I'd be doing a demo and everybody would be seeing nothing. So let's go ahead real quick and take a look at the platform. Now this is live. We were in a soft launch for the last couple of weeks, but we're fully launched now. You can go to myeileen.com right now and sign up for a free trial account or one of our paid accounts. So this is all up and working. And this is sort of a good point to note too, that you made a reference to it earlier, Scott, is that, this is a developed product. And we do not have any debt to service on the development setup I have taken this on personally. It's my side project. So basically every subscription we get, we'll be just earning profit off of that. And for those of you who may not be familiar with SaaS-based software as a service, the profit margins are extremely high. So it's one of the best spaces to be in. So we'll be seeing a high rate of profit on every subscription, and then we will be turning profits back into growing the business, but also paying our NFT holders, obviously. So good thing to know. It's not like we're sitting and we have $500,000 on the books that we got to pay off for a dev team or something like that. So we don't have any of that.
That's great to know that you're not carrying debt, because that's really with these SaaS-based issues, or these SaaS-based programs, that's the main issue, because all the work is up front, developing and building a team and getting that all ready to go. So sometimes you can take on some debt trying to get to the point where you can release the product, but like you said, once it's out, you're just hosting it, making updates here and there, so the profit margins on SaaS-based stuff is significant.
It sure is. So let's go ahead and sign into a demo account and take a look at what MyEileen actually offers. So basically, you start with a dashboard that gives you an overview. Each of the accounts has different access levels to how many words and content you can generate, how many images, et cetera, et cetera. So we have different packages that allow you more and more content production over a period of a month. So you pick which one you want, and then it keeps track of all that for you, so you know where you are with your allocation. So basically, then there are a suite of tools, and I'll go through and talk about each one. I won't do a demo on each one. It takes too long. I'll do a demo on one of them so you can see it. But the first thing to also notice about the product that's cool is the organization of it. You can create folders in this product, and then you can take the content that you're generating and you can folderize it, which is really great, especially when you consider how it's done right now. If any of you listening and watching, are familiar with or use ChatGPT, just as an example, you have to go to their website browser, and you're working with that, and then you're taking that content and copying and pasting or saving it as a file. And, so there's not a lot of file management access, and if you're doing a bunch of different things, you've got maybe 5 different platforms you're going to get various AI content, and it's everywhere. So this is at the very top level. This allows you to organize into projects and put folders in these projects, just so you can manage your content a little bit better. So with that said, there are a series of tools that MyEileen offers. The first of which is a series of chatbots that we have already been pre-prompted in various areas of expertise. So Eileen herself is the general knowledge chatbot that you would want to use for just about anything. But then there are these other categories: SEO, cybersecurity, various ones that we have, and we'll probably add more. And these chatbots work like any other chatbot you have. As you see, I had a conversation with Eileen earlier about a chocolate chip cookie recipe. And so she, set this out. So there's no limit to what you can do. This works just like ChatGPT. In fact, it is using ChatGPT 3.5 Turbo is what the API is currently on this. So it's no different than ChatGPT, just, all in one place, all in one interface. And then, of course, all of this content can be emailed, saved into folders, all that kind of great stuff. So that's the first functionality, is being able to develop content with a chatbot. And if you're at all familiar, with prompts and that kind of thing, you can ask questions and refine all of your work as well. So I'm going to skip the second one because that's what we'll go back and do. Then we also have a series of templates that are set up. I think there's about almost 70 of them now, that again are pre-programmed to help you generate whatever it is you're looking to generate. So you can just go
Medium articles, you've got TikTok, Instagram,
everything. Yeah.
It's real specific. Yeah.
Yeah. So you just go, okay, I want to, do a mission statement for my company. And you come in here, it's going to ask you a few questions: your company name, what your company's about. Each section has advanced options where you can enter word limits. You can enter what the creativity level is, what the tone is, professional, casual, and it will start working with you. And then again, from that point, you can continue on and ask it to refine things for you right inside of one of these templates. So basically, it really moves you forward quite a bit in having to do prompt refinement right here. So it looks pretty simple and straightforward, and that's by design. Again, there's quite a bit going on behind the scenes under the hood, but we wanted to make this easy for the average person to use and understand, but be able to leverage the power of AI. You can also build your own custom templates if you happen to be a little bit more sophisticated. And we're going to start a blog that goes along with this site that is going to have articles about how to do things in MyEileen. So some training to how to, sort of move into the intermediate and expert levels. But if you know how to write a prompt or what have you, you can start building your own prompts inside here and saving them. Great, again, for the enterprise situation. We've got one potential new customer that we're talking to that they actually already have an AI person on staff, and what they want them to do is use this tool right here to write prompts that everybody can take advantage of. So they'll add those templates, and then the other people on the team can just simply grab that template and do what they want to do while this one guy is developing them all. Yeah, so there's a lot of cool applications there in templates. There's another tool that we have is speech to text. I've used this a lot, actually, in my own work. And this allows you to take any file that has audio in it, be it an MP4 video file or an MP3 audio file, and simply drag and drop it, and it will create a transcript of what is on that file.
So let me stop you there, because this is one more thing. I could use this for 100 reasons, and I'll explain to people why in a second. But
yeah,
I'm interested in, I'm assuming I could record a YouTube video, drop it in here, transcribe it, and then add those transcriptions to this little, back end section. So I'd have subtitles in my full YouTube videos.
Yeah. And what I've used it for too is taken YouTube videos of other people and run the file through, gotten the transcript, and then asked it to summarize it for me.
Yeah, it's a great idea. What about the ability to switch between languages?
Yeah, you can do that. We are going to introduce languages for the platform, meaning all of this English here that you're seeing would be in other languages. But in terms of ChatGPT, just like with ChatGPT now, you can tell it to write in another language. We don't need to do anything for that to happen. So, but we will be introducing other languages in terms of the actual operating,
the actual interface and everything.
Yeah, the UX UI. But right now it's English only. So again, so you have that speech to text. Likewise, you have the other way. You have text to speech. So you can take a piece of content that you've written or you have from somewhere, and you can come in and select voices, male or female, what kind of accents they have, languages. These languages exist here, and create audio files. Great if you're doing videos and want to create a voiceover, an AI voiceover for a video, let's say, or you wanted to create a video version of your videos in French. You could have this tool do it for you. So there's a lot of applications for this stuff, way more than probably I can even think of. So you have both ways, speech to text and text to speech. Of course, there's an image generator built in. We have two of them. We're using DALL-E 2 and also Stable Diffusion. We're looking at seeing if we can potentially put Midjourney in here. The API is a little bit tricky, but we're looking at trying to expand upon the image capability of the tool. Stable Diffusion is okay. Midjourney is amazing. So we're looking at a couple other ones too. So you'll probably see more of these coming into the fore as the product goes along. So you can go in here and use this tool to type in stuff to generate images. You can upload an image and do image to image creation. You can upscale. So if you have a low res version of something, you can come in and say, I want a higher res version of this image, and it will upscale for you. So it has a pretty good functionality, but it's not as powerful as like something like Midjourney. If you write code or need to write code for anything in particular, there's a full-blown coder in this that's running again off of ChatGPT, which writes in just about every authoring language you can think of. So you can use AI to generate code from the simple script you might need for your blog to writing application software if you want to. So you have that ability all right here. And again, remember, all of this stuff can be saved into folders, and you can just really create nice things all in one location. So those are the tools, and the last tool, that's the one that I'll show really quickly, is our article wizard, which is basically will show you kind of all of these things put together. Now you can use this to do a lot of things. You could use this to generate a blog post. You can use it to generate a report. You can use it. You have to be a little bit creative in terms of not thinking, okay, well, this is just to create a blog, or you can create a PDF one sheet about your business. Anything that requires text and images, you can create using this wizard tool, which is really, a lot of fun. So let me see. So we'll do one. We'll do one here, adding DeFi to real world businesses. That's the topic that I'm going to write about. First thing you can do, if it is going to be something delivered on the web, it will generate keywords for you. So based just on that title alone, so I can just go ahead and say, generate my keywords. And so here are 10 keywords strings for this. So we can pick whichever ones we want. I'll just pick a couple at random here. And then we go on to the next step. So the next step, it's wanting to generate a title for this for us. And we'll say, okay, we'll take it at 5 titles examples. Let's make it professional and in English. So we'll go ahead and have AI generate that. So here are our 5 titles. So we can read through these and go, okay, which do I like the best? I like that one. Okay, so we'll go on next. And now if you want AI to try to generate some images for you for this, you can, or you can later put in your own images, but we'll go ahead and do it here. And we'll say, let's say illustration type. You don't even need to tell it what you want. It's gonna take that into consideration. We'll say cheerful, large images, and let's go 3 of them to choose from. So we'll let AI take a look at everything that we've created so far and make some suggestions. You can then, if you don't like these 3, you can generate more, or you can of course use any other tools that you might want. So, okay, so here's what it came up with. So we'll go ahead and we'll pick this just for the sake of argument here. And then the last step before it actually generates the content is it will generate a full outline for you, which you can use in a lot of things if you're going to do this as a PDF, for instance, and not a blog post or something like that. So it's got all the information I want. I want to stay professional in tone, and I'm going to generate 3 different versions of the outline to pick from. Okay, so here are the chapters, basically outlines. So I'm going to look and find one. I'll just say, I'll pick that one. And now we're ready to go. Now at the last minute, I can change anything here that I want with these outlines or titles or anything along these lines. Again, I'm going to stay professional with the final article, and now I'm just going to go ahead and go generate. Okay, so it's going to drop in this image that we selected, and it's going to take about 30 seconds usually to write these. So it's starting to go through and write the entire thing for us. Okay, it's done. All right, so there it is. Now, once we've got that basic set, we can go into edit and get into a full WYSIWYG HTML editor of what we just built. And now we can manually edit anything that we would like, add different images, stylize it with color, do whatever we want. So pretty powerful. And of course, this can be on any topic and allow you to generate content. So this is, a neat wizard tool that allows you to do that in pretty short order. So, and that's using a lot of the tools that we have inside here. So those are the basic tools that are in this first version of it. We have a lot of ideas for future revs as we go along, and also get some feedback from actual users about what they would like to have. We also, just a quick note, we do have an affiliate system with this as well, where you can invite your friends and earn off of their subscriptions. So similar to referral codes in the DeFi world, we have that as well. You can come up and just go into your section, and you get a link code just like you do in DeFi. And right now we're running it at full 20%. So you would get 20% every month of everybody's subscription that you brought in. That'll go down over time, but right now we have it at 20.
And is that set up as like recurring revenue share?
Yeah.
So every month?
Yep.
So okay, that's pretty significant, because if you know some people in the business world and you go out and you friends or family, whatever, you sell a bunch of these that use your referral code, and if they're rocking with a bunch of licenses, that could be a nice side income. It
really could. And so this, by the way, though, currently is set up for fiat. We might be able to make an arrangement to pay out in crypto if we talk to you. It's not set up that way. It's set up for just straight fiat payouts. But if somebody was doing this that came in through the DeFi world and wanted to get paid in crypto, we could certainly do that. Gotcha. We would just have to do it manually on the back end.
How does that work? Does it build up and you send checks, or are you ACHing, or how?
It's ACH, and you put your bank details in, and then we would just wire you your funds.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's in here too, just as an FYI. There are different subscription packages that you can choose from. As I mentioned, there's a free one, which is basically just sort of to look at it to see if you want to use it. A lot of the functions aren't available right now. We're doing 50% off our initial prices. So the most expensive one is $20 a month. So it's not, it's pretty affordable in terms of the price point. This will probably go up. We're not, as typical with software launches, we're not as concerned about the price right now as we are making sure the price isn't a deterrent for people to come on. So, this may move around, a little bit as we get a feel for what's going on. But again, even this, we're not as interested, because most of the people that are going to be coming on won't be signing up one at a time like this. They'll be coming in. We will have written a contract with a company, and we'll be saying, okay, for $250 a month, you've got 15 licenses, unlimited use, or that kind of thing is really going to be the most how this is used the most, to start with anyway, unless we get some, aggressive people that want to do the affiliate system and do that themselves. So anyway.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's a million different ways to market this. It's really interesting because pretty much anybody could use it. I know on our first initial call, it could be anyone from an enterprise business with a team of 25 people doing their content creation, all the way down to a TikTok influencer who wants to shave time off setting up their stuff and coming up with content ideas. So there really is a great use case for the larger businesses, mid-sized businesses, and then also smaller. For me personally, I create a lot of content in the marketing world, and so a lot of the stuff is maybe it's an article or a lot of different images or different stuff for email blasts and all that, and I'm always looking for ways to shave time. So for me, this tool is trying to figure out how to come up with new ideas. Obviously, I've got a basic idea of what I want. I'll let the AI do the work and help me with the images or the blog content or whatever, and just helps with that process.
I do it all the time now, just for that even for that first pass, like you're saying, I want to write something and I'll have AI write it, and then I'll just go in and edit it.
When you're in a small business, it's an interesting thing. When you're in a small business, a lot of times you have cool ideas, but you don't really have anyone to talk to about them, right? To bounce them off and get in, like what you would do in a think tank or whatever, if you got a bunch of people in a war room to hash it out. One thing I think is interesting about AI is it is that soundboard. You can just start plugging in ideas and it'll throw stuff back, and then it fine tunes what your thought process is. And then you plug something else in that's a little bit, further down the line. And then you end up developing an idea as if you were talking to a friend working through those issues, or, a team of people. And so the AI really can help be that soundboard when sometimes you just need to talk to the idea to realize if it's a dumb idea or if it's got legs, and you just need to figure out how to fine tune it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that, and that's just the thing that's exciting to me about this space, is we're just getting started. I mean, understanding how to best leverage these tools in the day-to-day business environment. And, I think as we move forward over the next 12 to 24 months, things are gonna explode in a way that they have not even yet. I mean, there's early adopters obviously in the AI space, and a fair amount of them, but as this trickles down to the everyman, if you will, it's just going to be huge. It's just
for sure huge. And I think the reason that this tool specifically is so powerful and why I invested in it, obviously, is just because there's other tools out there that do all this stuff. There's just not one tool that I found that does all that.
Yeah.
So I'm over at ChatGPT messing around, then I'm in Canva, then I'm in something else, then I'm in something else. So I use, 4 to 5 different things, and they all don't work that well. And sometimes you're going to have to pay a $30 subscription when you just play one piece of the tool. And so it's hard to piecemeal things together, and it makes it a little more complicated. The value add here that's different from other things, and why you wouldn't want to use other protocols or programs or SaaS-based systems or whatever. It's all rolled together. You can come in here, work on your YouTube stuff. You can work on marketing for your business. If you need to write a blog article, if you need to write prompts for people for your own company to come in and help train them to be able to use your own tool better, you can use your own tool to help create those. So it really is a fully functioning system, a great ecosystem, if you will.
Right. And that's it's really an AI tool aggregator, right? Because again, none of this AI is ours. It's all APIs. So it's really just aggregating a bunch of tools together, like you said, in a nice package. And again, when you're talking about the target audience, one of the things that's slated on our release schedule is to bring in we bring in single sign-on, both from social media single sign-on, but also with some of the more popular single sign-on options out there in the business world, because that's what those people are looking for. They want one place to go. They don't want to have to log in, let alone log into 5 different places to try to get their stuff done.
Totally.
So everything we're doing is geared towards that space. And, so I think that as we go along, we'll be able to really make a compelling offer. And so I'm very excited about the product. Obviously I wouldn't have done it if I wasn't, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's got a real potential. And you mentioned earlier, I think, who knows, no guarantees obviously, but I do think that it's highly likely that someone might want to come in and buy this at a fairly early level. I've had that happen in my professional career many times, and especially if we're able to put any numbers together in terms of the numbers of subscribers, just to have a database of subscribers that are using AI, I mean, the value of that alone is pretty high.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I think it's in a space and in a stage and at a price point and all that type of stuff that makes it really feasible. And I think you very likely could see, some acquisition opportunities, because someone will come in and say, hey, this is fantastic. We're going to put one or two little spins on it that are of our own, but we want the subscriber base and we want the, the framework that you built out. So
absolutely.
I mean, ultimately that's what you want to do as a business owner. A lot of times, great projects, hopefully they're really good. And at some point down the road, you want to sell it off and then you take what you've learned and try it all over again,
Yeah. And, as far as price, again, obviously you can go, well, ChatGPT is free, blah, blah. And that is true. But, if you want to use it, you have to get ChatGPT Plus, which I think is $20 a month. And you're already getting ChatGPT Plus inside of this, along with everything else. So I think there's a financial case to be made for it as well. And again, in the corporate world, that's less of an issue than the individual subscriber.
For sure. I mean, honestly, the prices are less than I'd even expect to be perfectly honest.
They'll probably go up, but again, I didn't want that to be a point of.
Yeah, you don't want it to be a deterrent. You really want to get that customer base in there, and especially early on, you want to get a bunch of people in there using it and stress test the heck out of the thing,
right?
So you can find out what your issues are at 50 subscribers, 100 subscribers. You know what I mean? So ultimately, that's all part of the process. But I would agree. I would agree completely. The price for me, like when I look at the price, I'm just thinking as a business owner, and really, even if you're just a content creator, whatever it is. For the $20 a month or even $30 a month, whatever it is, if it shaves an hour off of my week or my month, then it's already paid for itself.
Right.
And so, multiple times over. So it's really pretty.
One of the reasons that we did the 50% off right now too is because I know that I'm doing this series of AMAs. So it's sort of an offer to people who are seeing these AMAs, whether or not they're interested in getting an NFT, they might be interested in the product. So, we're getting, giving them a chance to get in the first month for a little bit less. So speaking of the NFTs, if you are interested in becoming a part of this, it's very simple. We have a minting page right here on the My Eileen site, which is myeileen.com/minting. And this is what it looks like. It's very straightforward. You just go ahead and you connect your wallet, and then these are the 4 different series types, and you just purchase one. If you want to purchase more than one, you have to do it one at a time. You can't put in a quantity, but again, in each wallet can hold 2. So basically it's that simple. Once we're done with this round, which is again 5 p.m. UTC on Friday, this ends. The only way you'll be able to get one of these after that would be on the secondary market. You can sell these. But anyway, once that's done, then we'll be setting up a site on the My Eileen page where you can come and see statistics and stuff like that about what's going on and what the payouts are.
Stake them, so to speak. I assume it'll connect to your wallet and just give you your details, or
yeah. So basically, we'll set all that up after we've got our full list of people that are in, and that's pretty much it.
Awesome. So that's easy, like you said. If it's something that you're interested in investing in, and you want to do the NFT deal, just go to that link that I posted, and it's in the description of the video. And anywhere from 250 to 2,500, the range. And then of course you can own 2. I put 2 in the same wallet, works fine. So you can own 2 if you're looking to, put something together that's, if you want 1,000 and a 250 or whatever, you can do that as well. But super cool idea. And then maybe he deleted his comment. Oh yeah, no downloads required. So yeah, DeFi Academy. Kirk, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but no downloads. It's a SaaS software, so
Correct.
software as a service,
Correct,
all
yeah.
cloud-based.
All cloud-based. Yeah, absolutely.
All real simple.
Yeah.
So
just on a web browser.
Very cool. Yeah, I mean, there's so many applications. I know when we talked earlier, I was asking, hey, can you connect your social medias? You touched on that. You guys are working on that. There's a lot of applications, like I said, from someone who's just a TikTok influencer or making YouTube videos and is searching for new content, or pretty much anything. If you're trying to do anything with social media, there's obviously an easy in, and even at the mid-tier pricing and everything, if it saves a few hours a week, then and you only have to go to one spot, don't have to have all these different tabs open, then it's super helpful. And then obviously if you're a business, there's a million different applications for this, from writing company notes or whatever, all the way to working on the marketing, or there's a million different things that you could utilize it for. And it's all just aggregated in one place, which just makes life simple. And that's what I'm all about.
Right. And I think it's going to be really helpful too when we get our blog going. That will actually give you real world examples of, because that's really what's missing in the space currently. It's so new that people know about it and stuff, but it's like, how do I do this? How do I leverage this? Where do I go to leverage it? And that's the kind of thing that that's the pain point that we're trying to solve first by creating this tool that allows you to go to one location, and then providing some information about how to use it is the next stage.
There's not a lot of content out there that right now will show you how to really utilize these AI tools. There's little clips and stuff to talk about a program where you should go to Microsoft's, whatever program to create images or this or that, but there's not a lot of information that really kind of gives you a step-by-step that's more hand-holding and something that could actually be used. So,
absolutely.
Awesome. Well, we got a handful of people in the chat right now. You guys got any questions specifically on this? We did. You probably saw earlier that Crypto Watcher got booted out of ChatGPT because she used too many words. That's fantastic.
That's funny.
But yeah, I think it's a cool platform, and I'm gonna try it out. Actually, maybe today. I need to write some email sequences for one of the businesses that I have. So I'm gonna maybe try and get in there, play, and see if I can shave some time off my daunting task today.
Sweet. Yeah, well, let me know how it goes.
I'd
love to get some feedback from actual users.
I will, for sure. Yeah, if I can figure out how to use it efficiently, it's definitely something that I could see chipping away at and using daily. So,
all right.
Awesome.
Well, as usual, Scott, thank you so much for being supportive of our projects, and you've been a big supporter of Speakeasy as well. And glad to hear you ROI'd in drinks, and so thanks so much.
That was awesome. Yep, it's been fantastic, man. I always love working with you. Appreciate your transparency and just your you got a good heart in the space, and that's not common, so it's nice. And it's nice to see that what you're doing on your day-to-day in real life as far as software development is all kind of together. Great platform, really clean look. I mean, I'm critical of the way stuff looks and functions, and it's really smooth. So I'm happy with it, and it's a tool that I'll use. I'm not just saying that for the promotion here on YouTube.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It means a lot coming from you.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, man.
Awesome.
So if we didn't have any questions, then I think we're good.
Yep. That's it. I will share this out to everybody. Hopefully we'll get some more eyes on it. Again, guys, if you want to get into this, it ends Friday at, what'd you say, 5 p.m. UTC?
5 p.m. UTC. So,
okay. Yeah. So Friday, 5 p.m. UTC. So if you want to squeak in and get your opportunity to boost up via your NFT, then do that. If not, if you just want to support the platform, you can do that by obviously enrolling in it and use it. You can also share your referral link out to people and try and boost it up that way. But anyway, we appreciate you joining, watching the video. Please smash the like, all that type of stuff, because it'll bring more eyes onto the project and more honest people in the space, which is the ultimate goal, I think, for all of us.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
All right, man. Thanks so much.
Yeah, appreciate you, my friend, and we'll talk again soon.
Okay, take care, guys.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining.